Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute, Center for Art, Sciences and Well-being. So before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, we are also commemorating, along with regular commemoration, to see how small and big initiatives are contributing to the sustainable development and also are acting as a deterrent to the sustainable development. This month is one of the most, this month is also one of the commemorative month, that is World Candle Month. But unfortunately, the greater side of that, candle usage of candle is creating a lot of pollution, which is used by across majority of the pollution majority of the pollution is caused, through this burning of candles, which can be 100% prevented. But this small initiative, which was taken up for a good cause, has turned it into a most vulnerable cause to the environment. So this entire September month is celebrated as World Candle Month, and let's look into how it started. Most of the things starts with good initiatives, but we often undermine the kind of impact it's going to create in the long run. So initially, though it was very limited and very less people were burning these candles, but now across the world we can see huge population are using candles for every event, for even daily. Every household burns lots of candles, and if there is any event, any possession, or any agitation, or for that matter, if there is any representation, or if there is any condolence, you see lot of candles are being used, lit, and that causes lot of pollution. See, there are other alternative ways we can do the same. We can express our feelings, emotions, our concerns using a better alternative way. Then why we have to create, you know, a threat to the environment, nature, and also existence of the planet on other species? While it's like, there is a joke widely circulated, you know, uh, hope every one of us know it. Just saying that save trees and stop cutting trees on a paper printed and stick onto the same tree. So, what does that really mean? First of all, we need to stop using papers. Why papers? Lot of trees are fell down for the purpose of manufacturing paper, and the same paper we are using and putting it as getting printed it and saying save trees and stop using paper. See, this is kind of paradoxical, uh, you know, kind of initiatives that we are doing, like somewhere we are preaching but not practicing. We are not by heart, by soul. We are not really concentrating on what we are doing actually. By using now today, entire world is tech savvy, gadget savvy. But do you know how much of carbon footprint they by charging our mobiles? Some mobiles need at least 3-4 hours. Recently we also did this menstrual hygiene month in the recent months, where we were discussing a very good topic also has come up. Whether you change your menstrual pad every 3 to 4 hours or not, but every 3 to 4 hours, mobile is being charged. Because of this drastic usage, continuously using mobile for uh, all these uh, applications, maybe for calls, for chatting, for browsing, and even for using for playing games or watching videos, or listening to music. A lot of energy is consumed. Maybe internet may be free. Of course, nothing is free in this world. Either you are paying directly or indirectly, or someone is contributing so that we can use it for free. So when something is being offered for free, it doesn't really means that it is free. Someone else is paying for us so that we can use it for free. So here also, when we are consuming lot of energy, mobiles need to be charged. So we are using electricity generated from various sources. It may be hydel energy, it may be thermal energy, it may be nuclear energy, or it may be wind energy, or it may be any kind of energy, solar energy. But in the process, what is happening? Lot of energy is being consumed, and there is a great demand for more and more energy. Not only just mobiles, laptops, or for various electronic and electrical gadgets, appliances, is all consume lot of energy. But where does this energy come from, and what kind of energy we are using? Even when we look at the very own process of manufacturing or production of energy. So, what portion of energy is actually green energy, clean energy? So that is all. We need to be very conscious. It's not that we do say whole day saying clean energy, green energy, or save environment, save earth. But what we are doing consciously is more important. No matter you keep on saying whole day, and using, and we see every event which is conducted with pomp and glory, how much of lighting is wasted. You can see how many for these festivities and for these celebrations, so buildings are lit up with so many lights. How much energy is consumed by that? No, is it really required? If required, at what cost? And at what cost it is contributing to the environment, to the human beings, to the other living beings and non-living beings in the planet? Are we really conscious? Are we really conscious about sustainable development? If it is, then why we are still continuing to do so? You see, every night, or for that matter, every day also, most of the cities are lit up with lights, which was absolutely not necessary. So much of lighting is not required. We can use sensors wherever the lighting is required, or whenever there is. Today we talk about space science, but we still don't have these sensors installed in the street lights, where when there is no movement, or when there is no for that matter any requirement on the lights should be switched off automatically. But are we implementing such measures where we can save our energy, where we can save our resources? So we need to be more smart. We are using smart gadgets, but we are becoming more, dumb fellows, in fact. And human beings are the most notorious species on the planet. And, these are the people, I mean, beings on the earth who are deliberately destroying the entire species and entire planet. Are we not? Just look at our human activities, what all we are doing. Are we really conscious about all these activities? If yes, still, why we are continuing to do so? Why we are still using paper? And when we need lot of trees, lot of plantation, and you see every now and then we see plantation drives taken up, and we see crores and crores of saplings are being put up. But what happens really? How many of them are surviving? Are there any statistics? No. Where is the water for them? You are on highways, especially we see on highways, or where there is no water source, we are putting up samplings. Okay, in rainy seasons, somewhere the nature is providing some kind of water through in the form of rain. To certain extent they are surviving. But other places where there is no water, and who is going to manage, and who is going to really put these protect and promote these saplings to grow? So all these we are doing for the sake of doing, but not really we are putting our mind and soul. If we are really putting our mind and soul, why there is no difference? See, only we can see difference when there is, a heart, a mind, a soul put into that initiative. So whether these initiatives are, yielding fruits or not, it all depends on the kind of efforts we all together as a collaborative efforts, when we are putting, we are able to save lot of energy resources, which otherwise could be used in a whole different way. By reducing the demand, the supply can also be reduced. And similar way, the production can also be reduced. What is required are definitely we need lot more resources because of unnecessary usage or exploitation of energy resources, exploitation of natural resources, which are in the very first place not required. Why so much of lighting? Why so much of burning of candles every day? Every day, can you see? Can someone maybe in the coming events can just try someone how many candles are used or how many candles are burned every day across the world? You can see it is mind blowing, and the kind of notorious criminal activity we are committing that is harming the planet, and how many lights are lit up daily, which are and what is the kind of energy consumption that is taking, and what kind of carbon footprint it is giving out. Can you just can we just do research on that and come up with that? and we will see this mind-blowing results. How notorious criminals we are, and what kind of abuse, or what kind of misuse we are doing with the natural resources, or with the various energy resources. Is it really required? If it is not required, then why we are doing this in the very first place? So we need to, sustainable development doesn't mean that all the productions need to be sustained. We need to reduce the consumption also. And sustainable development goals, and we need to uh, use the natural resources. Today, billions and billions of years Earth, our planet survived. But what happened with these last 300 years, with this modern science and technological innovations? We have destroyed and put entire planet on the verge of extinction and destruction. Today, we have seen a lot of glaciers started melting, and at poles where it used to be -20, -25, now they are nearing to zero. That means glaciers are melting. And once we can see there are no glaciers now. If you can see the recent, documentary uh, that is brought out on glaciers and north and southern poles, you can see it's very alarming. There is no snow, there is no glaciers there. That means rise in 8 feet, or 8 minimum. The rise of sea level is going to be up to 8 meters. Can imagine what is 8 meters if the sea level is going to rise. 8 meters is almost one floor. 2 floors will get submerged. At the kind of level that sea is in, how many coastal areas are going to be submerged? And who is responsible for all these? So our even small or big initiative always is creating an impact, huge impact on the environment, on the nature. So what we have to do, everyone, each one of us need to take up initiatives which were taken up initially. Those are all very good initiatives initially, because the magnitude was very less. But nowadays, the magnitude has grown uh, uh, to that extent that it has created a huge kind of pollution. Now, let's take a pledge today that we are not going to burn any candle, or we are not going to put on light unnecessarily, or we are not going to use appliances unnecessarily, so that we can ensure that energy resources are optimally utilized, and there is no greenhouse gases, and there is no pollution that can be caused through such irrational activity or illogical activities that are taken up by humans. So let's, with this brief talk, let's move on to commemorating. Let's see what actually, how this World Candle Month has started, and how it initially started. And let's see what kind of impact it is creating to the environment. Hope there are, of course, alternative to the chemical candle, to organic candle, but the raw materials used in the candle, again, it can exploit the other resources, which can be threat to the other species or other products, which are other raw materials, which needs to be procured organic, in an organic way. That means, their species like beeswax is an alternative, but that will put a lot of stress on the bees, which beeswax, which is used for other, and there will create a huge demand for bees. Nowadays, even getting honey, natural honey, is not possible. Now there are honeybee farms to get honey. So how much wax need to be created? Just do research, and maybe you can come out in any of our upcoming sessions. Just see how mind-blogging these statistics are. That is creating a lot of impact on all of us. And uh, so we will see how, these things are affecting small or big initiatives, how these are affecting us. So uh, looking at the World Candle Month, that is September 2002, uh, candles were used as a source of illumination, as a celebration. Uh, and this year, the theme is lighten the mood. The World Candle Month, this year's theme is lighten the mood. There is no better way to complement a cozy autumn evening than with the incandescence of lights. There's just something captivating about candles, a simple pleasure that slows down, creating magic in our daily lives with their glow and plethora of shapes, colors, scents they emanate. So this was started in 2013 as an observance day by National Candle Association. See, these are the people who are running business and they want to promote their business at any cost. Not just this business, these businesses are, not at all a sustainable businesses. They want their business to run at any cost, even at the cost of people, even at the cost of nature, even at the cost of environment. We are not against anything, but by promoting such, how we can support promoting such irrational or illogical activities, which is creating a huge pollution, huge impact on the system. How we can promote such today? The greatest impact that is being caused by this climate change or the pollution is on the farmer, on the crops which they are producing. And without food we cannot survive, and he is getting impacted, and our food sources, food consumption patterns, food production patterns are being affected. So there is a lot of changes, there is a lot of new pests coming. These all are how they are directly indirectly contributing. Anyway, we'll come to that also. So this was initially started in 2013 as an observance by the National Candle Association to honor candle, and has now become an annual event anticipated by millions of candle lovers from around the world. Candles which were used initially as lights to guide our home, but no longer used as lights to guide us home. So the purpose of using candles has been already met. There is no longer we need candles to light up or to guide us to homes or offices. We have lights everywhere now, but they continue to brighten up spaces as sources of relaxation and calm, dispelling negativity and setting up an unparalleled mood and ambience. See, this can be easily achieved by using, nowadays we get smart LED bulbs or smart LED lights where you can entirely control it, luminance, color, the kind of intensity using our mobile apps. So this can be completely prevented. Alternatives are available. Instead of burning candles, we can use this purpose also can be achieved by alternative sources. And what they say is discover the benefits of candles and join us. We celebrate all the ways candles are integral to our past and can be welcome addition to our future. So what they have to say? Candle Month was founded by the National Candle Association in 2013. Basically, this is a Western concept. All these are Westerns, which has created a huge impact on climate change, are continuing to create. That's why we are looking at where the things have gone wrong in the very first place. So, and the organization is widely recognized as a leading technical authority on candle manufacturing, science, and safety. and is a major trade association representing US candle manufacturers and their suppliers. And what is its mission? To promote global usage of candles and bring awareness to the benefits of candles. And candles are beautiful, fun, and can be used safely in most environments. This is what they say. But what actually is happening? We'll look into that. And candles have been around for a very long time. There's an evidence that the ancient Egyptians used as a rudimentary form of candle wick as far as 3000 BC. And it is well known that the ancient Romans developed candles with wicks. And once made with animal fat. Actually, the problem is here. You go by their own statements only, we can see how from a sustainable model to unsustainable model, this business has transformed. Once candles were made with animal fat called tallow, candle making evolved over the years and in different parts of globe to include wax from many different plants, insects, and certain tree nuts. So earlier, the consumption was low, and it was using, you know, different animal fats for that for the production of candle, and also from different plants, insects, and even certain tree nuts, which was organic. These fats were used to make candles, but because of huge demand and consumption, it was not adequate. Now what they have done, let's look into it. And throughout the millennia, progress was slow. In Middle Age Europe, improvements came in the form of cleaner burning and better smelling bee wax rather than tallow. See, later on, from the tallow or from the fat used from different plants, insects, certain tree nuts, because now they have moved to bee wax. That is, the honey which we extract from the bee combs, that wax is used as for making candles. And however, its cost made it prohibitive outside of church ceremonies and homes of the very rich. In the late colonial era, the growth of whaling industry led to use of crystallized sperm whale oil known as spermaceti wax. So, that was, but all these, organic products were very costly. And that made it very costly even to buy a candle. It was not at the reach of a common man. So what they did, they again moved on to, because demand was growing continuously. Even today, the demand for candles are being used are more, which are absolutely nonsense. There is no need of using a candle, but we are using candles to create a lot of problem. And we will also come to that point where now how these candles are produced now. So they were using this whale oil, crystallized sperm whale oil, known as spermaceti wax. However, it wasn't till 19th century that candles and process we are familiar with today took shape. In 1830s, they saw the mechanism of candle making or chandling, making them significantly less expensive to produce and opening their use up to larger population. Now, as the demand started growing, and as most of the Christian ceremonies, or for that matter, for all festivities and irrespective of religion or irrespective of occasion, a lot of candles are being used. Uh, Even if you are doing some protest, or even if you are offering condolence, or a lot of candles, there was a huge demand that was creating a huge impact to the environment, creating a lot of pollution, lot of emission of toxics in the environment. Let's look into further, see what has happened in the process. In 1850s, a nascent petroleum industry developed a way to separate a waxy substance called paraffin. See, here the notorious activity started. So the petroleum industry developed a way to separate a waxy substance from paraffin, from petroleum at scale. So here, this again, from petroleum, they started producing paraffin. and paraffin would be the most common form of candle wax for more than a century. Now all the cheap and candles are made up with paraffin. This is a chemical, and you know how much of chemical we are burning, and we are offering chemical to gods, and we are offering chemical to express our feelings, emotions, our condolences. uh, these chemicals which are causing pollution will be accepted by gods, uh, or the feelings or emotions which are expressed by burning chemicals and creating harm to us by inhaling, or harm to the planet, will those be appreciated? We have to rethink ourselves whether these activities which are being taken up by are really productive, are really constructive, are really doing some good, or by using these candles are we really contributing to the sustainable development, or we are creating more problems, more issues, more pollution. So we need to really look into this, and we need to be consciously aware of these facts, and start using these. Instead, you can just if you want something, you can go for an alternative. You can just have some torch, or at least if you want some light. Here entire concept is about light. If you want to light, you can use a light also. Instead of burning a candle, you can use a rechargeable, or everyone has a mobile today, and you can use flashlight if you want to express that you are condemning or you are supporting something. You can use mobile flashlight for maybe for few seconds. At least that will be a better alternative instead of burning candles. So let's look into how the industry has grown, and it is contributing to the pollution or environment. And it's around turn of the 20th century that the candle use changed from being a source of light to a source of entertainment. The entire gamut of the purpose of candle has been took in a very wrong way. Actually, candles which were used as a source of light now is being used as source of entertainment. Can we use something for the cost, for the sake of entertainment, which is costing our lives, which is costing our earth, which is costing our nature, just for the sake of entertainment? Like a fools, like an idiots, we are burning so many candles, and we are creating huge impact on environment. Can we justify, can we rationally justify our acts of using burning candles like that, just for the sake of our pleasure or entertainment? We need to rethink all this. The light bulb displaced the candle as a primary light bringer in the late 19th century, and their number stayed steady until 1980s, when candles, now often scented, saw a resurgence as decoration, mood setters, or even gifts. See, actually, the purpose of candles has been served long back. Now there is no need of candles now. Candles which were used as source of light, now we have a lot of lighting, LED bulbs everywhere, and we have adequate lighting. Now we don't need any more. We don't have anywhere or any more these organic candles. Whatever candles we are using are chemicals made from chemical products, petroleum products, and we are burning those chemicals, petroleum product, and we are creating a huge toxic you are releasing toxins into the air that is being inhaled by us and by the living beings around us. See what kind of activity we are involving. So it is a high time that we stop using candles from now onwards, and use alternative sources. If we are really concerned that, even for that matter, gods will also be not happy if they are, if we are destroying their planet. Entire source is created by gods, entire ourself or our nature, and they will not be happy if we are destroying them, if we are destroying ourselves. So we need to take a look at the entire gamut of this burning of candles for the sake of pleasure or for the sake of entertainment. And we need to go to the alternative measures. We have, if the purpose is to, show some light, or if the purpose is light, then we have already fulfilled the purpose of light through various other modes, through lighting and other sources. So there is no need of absolutely having a candle now. Of course, as an industry, if we talk industry need to survive, but not at the cost of lives, not at the cost of planet, not at the cost of our health. So let's even go further. In around uh, it is around the turn of 20th century that candle use changed from being a source of light to being a source of entertainment. The light bulb displaced the candle as the primary light bringer in the late 19th century, and their number stayed steady until 1980s, when candles now you often used as a resurgence as decoration, mood setters, or even gifts for the sake of decoration, for the setting of mood, or even for gifting purpose. We are creating a huge pollution, toxics. We are releasing toxins into the environment, which we all are breathing, which other living beings are breathing, and they are causing huge impact on us. And the candle industry continues to grow today. See the kind of impact. So we are using it as unnecessarily, and the demand is going up and up, and we are using these candles. We are acting as a deterrent to the sustainable development. We are creating more and more pollution. And today, as advances in wax, scent, and coloring technology offers consumers a monopoly or a panoply of options for their homes. Now, see, added to this, we are adding some additives also, like scent, which is again a chemical, and color technology. Again, we are using synthetic colors and other colors, again, chemicals to offer, to make them colorful, to make them scented, and to make them in different shapes, colors, sizes. Lot of chemicals are going into it, and a huge entire gamut of this activity has gone into pollution. From a source of light to see, now we are using it for fun, entertainment, for our pleasure, which is, very exploitative to the own purpose. Now, there today we can see homemade candles have soared in popularity, molded at home in different shapes and textures. Indie candles can personalize candles for a unique addition to her home of consumers. See how you have seen from a candle as a source of light now is used as a source of entertainment, as a source of fun, as a source of pollution, as a source of toxins that are released into the environment. So now it's high time that we stop using candles, and instead of, we need to go to an alternative way. There is always, even gods will not appreciate us if we are polluting their own nature there, if we are creating harm to our own fellow beings, our own brothers and sisters, our own uh, uh, causing health issues, or acting as a deterrent to nature. Even gods will not appreciate. Even the souls, where we are expressing our condolences or gratitude, do you think those souls will be happy that we are creating pollution, and because of that lot of these respiratory diseases and all cancerous toxins are released, and a lot of cancers are being caused to the human beings and other beings? So will they appreciate? Will they feel happy? Will they appreciate our efforts? So we have to rethink when we are doing some activity, whether it is really productive, whether it is really constructive, whether it is really contributing to the sustainable development. If not, then we need to stop doing that. We need to prevent such things happening, and we need to look for alternative sources. Most of the things is only due to our ignorance. Because lack of knowledge, how it was started, why it was started, because we don't know about the origins. So that's why we start abusing. And many of this modern technology is like that only, because we don't know why it was invented in the very first place. And then we start misusing them. And now today, within just 300 years of modern science, we have put our entire planet, entire species into verge of destruction and extinction. This is what happens, when we are not really conscious and when we are not really aware of what was initially how and why these technologies were invented or discovered for the betterment of humankind and all kinds. But now, same technologies are used as a deterrent to, you know, uh, which are acting deterrents to the climate and sustainable development. So they are counterproductive now. So there are some myths and truths, and let's see, you know, about, okay, now we have discussed that candles can be made with organic and also inorganic, that is chemical substances. Now most of the, because organic are very limited in nature because of their availability, they are very limited. So the cost is very high comparatively to candle. Now you may get one candle for 1 rupee, but that same candle in organic will cost you somewhere around, if it is depending on the organic material, it will cost you somewhere around 25 rupees to 100 rupees, depending on the kind of or a type of organic material that you are using. So let's look into some myths. Now, people can say, okay, uh, now instead of burning a chemical candle, can I use organic candle? Again, you can see, to burn a candle, you need a lot of oxygen in the air. Already we are facing a lot of these oxygen related issues because air is getting polluted. A lot of pollutants are also consuming the oxygen, and trees are coming less. I mean, deforestation and a lot of urbanization is causing a lot more trees to fell, and there are a lot less trees available. So less amount of oxygen in the air. So burning of more of these candles is consuming more oxygen and, releasing more of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is increasing. So irrespective of whether you use organic or inorganic, these candles are going to still contribute to the pollution, still contribute to the environment. So no matter what, it's always better to avoid candles in the very first place. So that will ensure, instead of that, use torch lights or, for short time. Anyway, lights are their alternative purpose. The own purpose of candle as a light has been already solved. And there is no need of other candles as a source of light. So I think if whenever there is an occasion to use as a light as an expression, so better use other forms of light, because everyone has mobiles. Maybe you can use flash our flashlights for some amount of time. For that too also, let's limit it for few seconds, or for that matter 1 or 2 seconds, to express our intent or content or consent, so that a lot of pollution can be prevented. So this can be a very good initiative now, and at least this entire month, candle month, if we can reduce burning of candles by next year, if we can bring down it to zero consumption of candles, we can save a lot to pollution. As a responsible citizen of this planet, we all need to cut down, and we need to ensure that by next month in this year, we have to bring down it to zero candle consumption. No candle should be used, so that we can reduce. See, these are very initiatives. Some people might say, okay, if we stop using, will the pollution come down? Will the toxins release will come down? Or of course, we can't expect, because there are a lot of other activities also. But definitely, everything starts with an initiative. Even an ocean is formed with a drop of water, droplet. That drop will become a big ocean. So similarly, small initiatives will contribute in a big way. You can see how many, that's why I'm saying you just do a research. Let's everyone, for that matter, I will also come up with more such research findings. Let's all do research, not only on this candle, or we will do a lot of research in coming days. What is deterring the sustainable development and what is causing huge impact on pollution. So whenever there is an opportunity like these opportunities, international commemoration days where we have candle day or candle month, for that matter, we have petroleum day, petroleum month, and fossil fuels, natural fuels, clean energy. These all international days are an opportunity for us to talk about those aspects. So this entire month is candle month. So we'll try to come out daily, if wherever, whenever possible. What are the ill effects that is being created with the consumption of candle? So, okay. So we know that what kind of impact it is creating. So let's move on to just, I will give you some few details because of we need other time for other commemoration. So is lighting candles bad for environment? As we were talking, well, lighting candles is bad for the environment, but it all depends on the wax through which the candle is made. And traditional candles were hundreds and thousands of years were used that wax that was made from animal fats. But over the time, this changed. Contemporary candles are made from paraffin wax, bee wax, soy wax, cotton, coconut wax, and other vegetable waxes. And there is a huge variance in what candle wax is made up of, and each impacts the environment. See, again, the food, there is a lot of people who are dying with hunger. There are people with all malnutrition, undernutrition. So again, using vegetables, or for this matter, bees or soy or coconut and other vegetables for production of wax, which is absolutely, not required, which otherwise these coconuts and soy and other vegetables can be used to feed people who are in need, who are suffering from undernutrition or malnutrition. So instead of that, again, if we use these resources for producing candles, we are creating more harm. We are literally snatching or preventing the food which can be consumed by our fellow brothers and sisters. So see, so we need to be very conscious when we say we are not using these chemical candles and we are using organic candles, but where this organic wax will come from. These vegetables, coconut, soy, and bee wax, all these can have alternative uses. So many other people can satisfy their hunger. They can meet their food requirements with these. So what we are doing, we are causing a deterrent. We are preventing them to feed themselves by using them for alternative purposes, for entertainment, for our pleasure, which otherwise could help to meet some others' hunger. Many families will survive if they use or put into alternative use. So so it's a better option is to avoid candles in the very first place, because the very first place of purpose of candle is to get light, and light is now we have various other forms of lighting. So I think candle is no longer required. That is my personal opinion, because of kind of that pollution it is creating. And maybe not just candle, there are many other things. We will work on it, because we are talking about sustainable development, because this is an occasion we are talking about candle. And like we were discussing about various other products and services that are contributing and acting as a deterrent to sustainable development, we will continue to see and observe and look into various aspects that are contributing to the pollution, climate change. So even the paraffin axe made from fossil fuels is not only unsustainable, but also bad for your health and your home. And the release of plume of carcinogenic materials in the air, whenever they are lit, can leave you suit damage behind even a properly timed wick. It is causing cancer also. These by burning of candles and breathing of this uh, air where the candle is lit in the rooms and or in the places, while inhaling them, it is causing cancer also. This is why they are not recommended for health reasons for those who are environmentally conscious. If we are environmentally conscious, if we are nature lovers, environment lovers, or if we are, our planet lovers, or when we care for our fellow beings, I think it's a high time we need to ban these candles and stop using the candles immediately. Even the wicks of certain candles could cause problems. This is because they may contain lead or other types of metal cores that release toxin emissions when they burn. The lead core wick is no longer used in the States and Australia, but it could be used in elsewhere. So initially they were using this, but in USA, voluntary agreements between the manufacturers not to use lead cores because it was creating a lot of pollution and it was harmful to health. It was banned later. And since 1917s, although some cheap imports continue to contain these wicks, you know, uh, but still many of the world, even in US, they are not used, but cheap quality are still use this. And across the world, all the candles use this kind of wicks, which is a lead is being used, and lead is a cumulative poison and can never leave your body. We are inviting poison and we are using poison to express our gratitude to Lord and whatnot, and we are creating more harm to us indirectly and directly. Additionally, it not only affects humans but also all animals and can be passed along the food chain. This lead will go on to all the food chain also, and we will be consuming more lead, and it will create a more impact on our health and as well as environment. And when we are using these scented candles, these are not, these are also synthetic chemicals. And these chemicals again will release carcinogenic and toxins into the uh, atmosphere. Again, these are unhealthy and, causing environment and pollution issues. So these scented or color candles are also a great threat to the environment. And as we have seen, there are other bee wax, soy wax, or other thing. But again, that already we have a lot of people who are under nutrition, malnutrition, and they are not getting adequate nutrient. And soy is very good in nutrients. That is natural protein, plant protein is high in soya beans, and that can be used for feeding many of our population. So uh, promoting the foods or food crops for creating such unwanted products is again a threat to the sustainable development. And the price will also go up for these products if they are used. Already they are being used. And again, if for the production of those, there are more and more deforestation required, more land is required to produce them. Again, it will cause huge deforestation, and again that will impact that. So why in the very first place, when candle is not required, why again going for an organic candle and again burning, consuming lot of oxygen in the air, in the environment, which is again deterrent to healthy planet and healthy climate. So all these initiatives which were taken up early for a different cause now no longer is serving those cause. So we need to get rid of these practices, these which have crept into being no longer required. We need to get away with these traditions or practices which are no longer contributing to us in any way and are acting as a deterrent to our own health, our planet's health, our animal health, and fellow being. And as we've seen also, scented candles are bad for the environment because most scented candles contain paraffin wax, which we already determined is derived from petroleum, coal, or shale oil. And when candles are burnt, the paraffin wax releases toxic compounds into the air, including acetone, benzene, and toluene, of which are carcinogens. They are cancer-causing agents. And a study from South Carolina State University found that paraffin wax candles gives off harmful fumes linked to lung cancer and asthma. These are causing nowadays we see asthma has become a common household disease or disorder. Why? Because a lot of candles are burnt in almost every home. So that is why a lot of respiratory problems and a lot of cancer. Cancer has become today a disease like in every household. Why? Because a lot of cancerogens products we are using daily. We are burning candles in our homes. That is causing a lot of respiratory diseases. Lot of carcinic these elements are released, and that we are inhaling, and that is causing as cancers, and that is causing us some respiratory illness, diseases, disorders, and we are getting asthma, and we are getting cancers and other related diseases and disorders. And according to Douglas Booker of the National Air Quality Testing Services, in short NAQTS, when scented candles are burned, they give off tiny particles so small that could fit 1,000 of them across a single human hair. So this is also, uh, creating a lot of problem. And he further added that the particles are small enough to get into the bloodstream, and they have been associated with both short and long-term health problems, including asthma and cardiovascular disease. And these especially scented candles are more dangerous than these candles, and they are also causing cardiovascular diseases. Today we can see the highest killers are cancer and cardiovascular diseases, and many young people are dying due to cardiovascular diseases. Why? Because of lot of these cancer causing agents, and we are daily burning a candle in our home, and what is it doing? It is creating cancer, it is creating cardiovascular diseases, it is creating respiratory problems with us like asthma, bronchitis, whatnot. And some candle brands also use a wick where the cotton is wrapped around another material, such as metal, producing toxic soot, which may also lead to lung problems. Some wicks are, very fashioned in using metals as a decorative item. Especially decorative candles are even more dangerous because they use some metals, also iron and aluminum or whatnot, to make it more attractive or more designer, more more attractive and all lot. So these are producing toxics into the air, and they are also leading to a lot of health problems. And experts therefore advise that you should limit your burning time to reduce the number of chemicals sent into the air by candles, or if possible, get rid of all completely, get rid of burning the candles in the very first place. And they also advise one to go for avoiding producing large amounts of soot and pollution. So it's always better, if at all you have to burn, make sure you are using organic candles, and for a very short time, just lit up, and you need to just immediately put it off. Better to avoid in the very first place. And Yankee candles are also bad for you and an environment. These are extremely popular due to high quality ingredients, bright colors, and strong scents. They tend to receive the lion's share of attention. Nowadays, you can see these Yankee candles, these luxury or fancy candles for that matter. And they are also Americans' favorite candles. And they take pride themselves on curating beautiful fragrance to warm your home. Unfortunately, these practices with their warmth comes a level of poisoning in the same air. So there is a lot of damage that being done to our health and not necessarily providing us with any kind of benefits apart from our making our life smell like cinnamon rolls or fresh pine. Other than that, there is no benefit that we are getting. In fact, we are ourselves creating a lot of pollution for us, toxics. And candles are contributing to the global warming. The majority of the candles which are made of paraffin wax, that is from petroleum byproduct of a petroleum refinement, is part of the problem. And it is contributing to global warming, and it is contributing to the climate change, and is not sustainable. So this is why we need to give up the candles and burning of candles, because it is a deterrent to healthy planet and healthy, for all of our health. And one of the things emitted is carbon dioxide. The other reason is when you burn candle, it consumes a lot of oxygen in the air, and that creates a huge deficiency in the oxygen in the composition. And also the acceleration of global releasing of carbon dioxide, and it takes oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. So again, carbon dioxide emissions by the candle is also accelerant to global warming and therefore climate change. According to Christian Science Monitor, burning a paraffin candle for 1 hour will release about 10 grams of carbon dioxide. This famous science monitor, Christian Science Monitor, has revealed that burning a paraffin candle for 1 hour will release 10 grams of carbon dioxide. You just imagine, now calculate how many candles are burned for how many hours and how many grams of carbon dioxide and other toxins are being released into the air. See how culprits we are, notorious criminals we are. With just such irrational acts, we are causing a huge harm to ourselves, our health, and our fellow beings and our species, which is completely avoidable, preventable. And to help solve these issues, what we have to do, and do not contribute to global warming and for better environment and collective health, stop using these candles and stop burning these candles, and go for a renewable source. Again, this is again also completely preventable and avoidable. Let's be compassionate to other people who are dying with hunger, who are dying with malnutrition or undernutrition, so that we, instead of using vegetables and all other for creating candles, let them consume, and the prices will also come down, and many people will get their nutrition requirements with the alternate use of these vegetables. So the best way is, as an environment lovers, nature lovers, and fellow humanitarian, with humanitarian hearts, compassionate hearts, let's stop using these candles and create more awareness. When it is not at all contributing, why using them? Why promoting them? It's promoting our own illness, promoting our own diseases. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration, and let's be constructive, productive, and we will continue. This entire month is there, so daily I will come up with the various research studies which is conducted across the world on these candles, and how these are contributing to the greenhouse emissions and global climate change, and how these are unsustainable and contribute deterring to the sustainable development. Okay, then with this we'll move on to our next commemorations for the day. Today we have bringing your manners to work day. So this is a commemoration which is first Friday in September. So this year it will be celebrated on September 2. That is, with 9 to 5 routines, we probably spend more time with our work family than our real family, because most of the time we spend our time at office, like at home. Good manners are needed to be followed at workplace also. This includes not having messy workstations, conversing politely, and not using your cell phone when you are in company of others. So we need to have good manners not only just at home, but also in our workplace or in our educational institutions, for that matter, even in public. So they say good manners will open doors that best education cannot. So it is important to have healthy relationships with bosses, colleagues, and clients to have a good work environment that won't burn you out. In today's modern times, manners are no longer limited to gestures like holding the door open for someone or making polite conversation. The way we present ourselves using meeting hours for browsing on our phones and many other things make up of office etiquette. So this is exactly why the Protocol School of Washington created Bring Your Manners to Work Day in 2013 to remind people about the importance of courtesy and manners in the workplace. A study conducted by Robert Half Technology shows that 64% of the chief information officers surveyed that the rules of modern workplace are changing due to increased usage of cell phones, tablets, and other electronic devices, leading to violations and relaxed attitude towards office etiquette. So the figure has increased from 51% from only 3 years ago. See, because when we are talking to someone, when we are communicating someone, we need to look at them. We need to respond to them in appropriate manner. Instead, what we are doing, even when we are communicating with them, we are busy with our gadgets. We are busy with our mobiles, not looking at them, not listening to them, not responding to them properly. These all are bad manners. But we are continuing to do so, and this has increased uh, up to 51% over within just last 3 years. And with this magnitude soon, I think we will not have any manners at all in the coming years, unfortunately. So let's have, this occasion. Uh, so have some office ethic, and good manners. A good rule is to remember is to extend good manners to others the way you would want to be treated. So the very simple logic or simple rule that we have to think and use is just behave the way you want others to treat you. That's all. There ends the matter. If you want you to be treated well by others, then you also treat others well. With the simple this thing, understanding, if we go, we all will appropriately communicate, respect each other, and we will have empathy, compassion to others, because we know what we are going through and what we have gone through. When you understand the same way, we will behave properly, we will communicate properly in a very good manner. So that is what the basic logic behind it. So self-evaluate your workplace etiquette. So observe yourself and take note of where your manners may be lacking at the workplace. It's better to self-evaluate and rectify than someone else point it out. And it can be an embarrassing moment for any of us or all of us. So it's better before someone point out and rectify. It's better to ourselves self-evaluate and rectify them. And don't limit your good manners to just one day, because this is today is We are commemorating Bring Your Manners to Work Day. Let's not limit this day. We behave in a good manner, and from tomorrow onwards, forget and behave in the same way. Start practicing little changes, such as listening to your colleague with undivided attention or not leaving the coffee stain on the tabletop. Gradual changes may lead to a lifestyle overall at the workplace at least. So these mean a small things, but they mean a lot. They can contribute a lot in building relationships, in maintaining, sustaining relationships and communication. And what are considered bad manners? Just a few quickly. Uh, Speaking loudly. We tend to speak times louder, 3 times louder on calls than in person. So observe the kind of volumes of our, you know, speaking, and keep your volume down. Generally, when we speak to in person, to person, we use a normal pitch. But when we talk in gadgets like phones or conference, no, we tend to automatically uh, increase our, you know, loudness at least 3 times. This is based on a study. So uh, kindly observe them, especially in workplaces where we need to lower our voice. Instead, we are increasing 3 times. That will cause severe inconvenience, disturbance to the fellow employees who are working, who are concentrating on their work, who are maybe also attending to other calls. So, and being late, always be punctual for meetings, conference calls, and everything else. Respect other people's time. This is also very important. We have, especially in India, we have Indian Standard Time. We join as per our convenience, not as per the schedule. This should change because we need to respect everyone's time. And often these being late and getting late is often goes hand in hand. You know, because we start late and things go on late. Only if we able to start join in time, the things will start in time, and we will conclude in time. And we need to be conscious how much time we are taking. Especially we need to be conscious about what is the agenda, what is the schedule for today's meeting, and we should ensure that we should not grab others opportunity, and we should not grab others freedom of expression, or for that matter their opinion. So we need to limit our time initially, so that all others also get an opportunity. Then if time is available, again you can request for some more time and continue, instead of that grabbing the whole time for just one thing, and leaving, depriving others to have their voice or opinion unheard. Again, is also a bad manners, and also it is violation of others freedom and others right of expression, freedom of speech and expression. So this is unhealthy and counterproductive. So these all things have to be considered. Let's be very precise to the point, and let everyone have their word. After that, when there is still time left, then we can again take over. And don't leave a mess. If our colleagues are out, if our colleagues are our work family, then our office is our second home. So clean up your mess and don't expect the staff to take care of it every time. So keep your surroundings clean, and no more messy offices or desks, and put your mobiles in airplane mode or flight mode. It can be as tempting as you don't check your phone in the presence of others. So, so that you pay attention to them and your surroundings. Otherwise, every notification you keep watching your mobile, that is distracting. That will also distract from your work. And also, don't borrow. Don't assume that it is all right to borrow something from other people's desk without their permission. Some people take it granted. Whatever they see, they just grab it and use it, and they don't even bother to ask or even to inform also. Sometimes these can also be very annoying or offending, or sometimes can create problems also. So at least, okay, you can inform them that you are taken, or you can just inform them that you are using, or you are taking something, or some resources from them, so that they are at least aware of that resources is has been consumed to certain extent, or that resource is no longer available. And we are not saying that everyone is primitive or lack good manners entirely, but our attitudes at the workplace have increasingly become relaxed. Actually, it doesn't mean that we don't have good manners, or we lack good manners in entirely. But what we are saying is, we are just relaxed. We are like, okay, chalta hai, doesn't matter, kind of easy attitudes or relaxed attitudes. That is not, making us to practice these good manners. So that is only problem. And a few people really lack these good manners. That is a different story altogether. But most of them do have good manners and practice them. But this kind of attitude, like, it's okay, fine. This will sometimes, being relaxed, serves, like occasions like this serves as a good reminder in our offices, in fact, that offices are not our bedrooms to behave as we want, right? These are public places. So we need to follow our good manners, because by seeing other us, or by seeing others, we also continue to learn and behave in an appropriate way, and we think that is okay, acceptable. And again, that will cause a lot of other issues and problems. So the single or the simple rule is just you behave in a way that you will appreciate, or the way you think you can appreciate others if they behave in such a manner. So you also, irrespective of whether where you are in home or office, let's all behave in a way that we appreciate ourselves and also others. So just be the way you want others to be, so that it solves the very problem in the very first place. So it will be an inspiration of all. Like, even if one person displays good manners at workplace, it can inspire others to follow. After all, everyone looks up to a model employees. And good manners lead to better understanding between employees, better coordination, and just an overall better office environment. All this is beneficial for business and the company image. So this is how, this wonderful day, helps us to promote and foster good manners, and that will help us to create conducive environment to all of us. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration, and we will move on to our next commemoration of the day. It is Calendar Adjustment Day. So what is this Calendar Adjustment Day? So let's look into it. Calendar Adjustment Day is more than just having some tweaks to your calendar. It commemorates the day in history when New Year's Day was shifted to the 1st January and the entire calendar system changed. So, every culture or every tradition, for that matter, every region has their own New Year. This is also one of the blunder that we committed in the history. Because of that, the rich diversity, celebration of the rich cultural diversity is lost with this, what we call, though, we can say that we have bring a common thing, but the fact is we are not all the same. We are different in the sense we have our own cultures and traditions. We are different. If all are same, we will become like a robots, or we have become like a tomatoes, or we have become, for that matter, all are unique. Even that we don't appreciate also, being seen someone who is having a replica of you in front of you, would you be able to appreciate? For that matter, entire world is like you. It is very difficult. Even in fact, we think so, but in reality, it is very different. Maybe some movies also has come up. Maybe you can Google it, or maybe I will try to point out some where some exact person where a person feels like the world has to be exactly like him or her, and they have incidentally come across such person, and lot of problems in life. So we need to appreciate actually. So this is, I think, this days also has created a lot of problem, and we have this new year on January 1st, which is no longer culturally appropriate. And many cultures do not get their new year, or many seasons, or for that matter many places do not really get on that day, but only for just for the sake of convenience, or for the sake of technical feasibility, we have put that day, and we are doing lot of unwanted things on that day. And that day, it is called as drunkards day. Lot of people get drunk and do lot of nonsense, and many accidents happen, a lot of firecrackers are burnt, lot of huge pollution. And by burning firecrackers, what we'll get? Huge money is lost. Instead, you can feed some people, or you can fund someone for education, or you can fund someone for health or medical assistance. Lot more can be done. Of course, I am not against celebration, I am not against, but we have other alternative use. You can gain more satisfaction, and lot of lights are lit. Again, see how much of energy, electricity consumed on that, just simply lighting up each house, each office, each building, just for the sake of having a new year. And burning of so many candles, and burning of so many firecrackers on that day. And people drinking out, and coming onto the roads, and uh, creating lot of nuisance for that matter, and creating lot of pollution, lot of garbage out. You go out and do party, and leave all these junk, and these wrappers everywhere, and make a hell out of it. So in the very first place, it doesn't have any significance, this new year. And the entire world is celebrating like a fools. What there is nothing there in that. There is no cultural significance, there is no significance, and we are celebrating in a very huge manner, which is absolutely absurd. I'm very blunt on face, but certain things are there. We have to accept that. It is a fact, no matter what. Now, you can also tell me, uh, is there any purpose for that? Is there any significance for that? And is there any huge grandiosity or pomp and glory that needs to be celebrated? Instead, we can go out and do some very good things. So many of these things are being taken up only just because of ignorance. We don't want to, first of all, we don't know. The very first problem is we don't know, because we are not aware of it, and no one is speaking about it. Why we are taken up today, or why we have taken up these commemoration days, is only for that reason. First, let us know why this has come. Then we will know, we will appreciate what is good. If it is good, we will follow. If it is bad, we have to stop them. We have to stop celebrating them. And this is like why this modern, and how this modern new year came up, is only just for a significance. We will just go through it. And there is absolutely no need of such pomp and glory. And this drunkard's day synonymously used as a new year day, and lot of wastage of resources, loss of energy in lighting of lamps, and lot of pollution by creating by burning of these crackers. And it's a lot of stupidity, when people are dying, and contributing to the climate change. Many people are working towards sustainable development, climate change, environment protection, conservation, and at one side, we like a fools and idiots, we are doing the same thing which are counterproductive to that. How we will be able to appreciate ourselves when we are doing such acts which are counterproductive, which are deterrent to healthy climate or healthy environment? We all needs to look into that. See, we in the sense, including me, I am not an exception. Because when we even come, say Happy New Year, do you know how much energy is consumed? Even for that 1 minute, or for that 1 minute, you keep on sending to the 100 people, and say at least 2 seconds is consumed. You know, you are sending to 1,000 people, and how much space is required? You know how much cloud space is required, how much of hard disks are required, how much of storage space is required, and you know how many servers are required. You know, our stupidity has no limits. In fact, we just keep send on New Year. We just don't end up with text messages. You know, we keep sending images. We start sending videos also. You know what kind of impact it is creating on environment? Huge space is occupied and traffic, lot of bandwidth is being consumed. Just imagine why we are doing it. For first place, there is no purpose at all. That too for one which has no significance at all. Okay, let's look into the calendar adjustment day. In other words, the New Year day on January 1st. So, calendar adjustment day is more than just making someone tweaks to your calendar. It commemorates the day in the history when the New Year's Day was shifted to the 1st of January, and the entire calendar system also got changed. After the British Calendar Act, these are culprits again. See, the British Calendar Act of 1751, the Gregorian calendar was adopted by Britain in 1752. But shifting and aligning with the new calendar was not that simple. It required omitting 11 days for synchronization, and the purpose Gregorian calendar. The residents of Britain and the American colonies went to sleep at night on September 2, 1752, and woke up the next day to September 14th, 1752. You know, these they slept at night on September 2, 1752, and they woke up next day, that is September 14th, 1752. See, in one night, where are these 13 days lost? So they see this. That's why we say this modern science and technology has created a havoc on the planet. Lot of errors goes in, and you know, we call ourselves as genius. Thanks to our creativity and genius, we are making fun of ourselves and our science and technology, unfortunately. Anyway, that's a different story altogether. So this change also led to New Year's Day being celebrated on January 1st. Those 11 days are lost forever in time. And we don't have, this is a, you know, the science, you know, we say, nah, there are many things beyond science. Those, where those 11 days are gone, no one knows. Even science doesn't know. That's fine. You know, there are many things. That's why I always say science is still infancy. You know, there is a lot beyond the science. You cannot talk everything that's in terms of science. So the calendar adjustment was taken too well by the public, who felt cheated and demanded to. So public also, you know, felt cheated and demanded to have their 11 days back, because those 11 days were gone. So, and it was necessary to skip these 11 days in September so that Britain could align with the Julian calendar like most of the Europe. See, actually, to suit the Julian calendar, they have, you know, changed this entire calendar system. That's why even now our Hindu calendar, it stands perfect calendar. These all Gregorian calendar, Julian calendar, whatnot calendars came after that. All have some one or other flaws. They are just trying to align, and still we don't have a proper calendar system. But they are widely promoted, and lot of propaganda, and a lot of things, these people, their many cultures and traditions and laws, that's again a different story. We'll not get into that. But the entire calendar system, most of these calendar systems were gone due to these changes. And many historians claim that the change in calendar led to rioting and civil unrest, demanding give us 11 days, because people slept today and tomorrow they woke up and their 11 days are gone. So there were huge protests everywhere because their 11 days of uh, are gone, and they lost their earnings. They lost their benefits for those 11 days. So many people also believed that their lives were shortened by 11 days, and their 11 days of their life has gone for a toss, you know. And the moving of some holy days and holidays like Easter has also been suspicious, and new dates were considered incorrect because of that 11 days were gone. Even all the dates of festivals are also, gone incorrect now. Now, which day we will celebrate Easter? Which day we will celebrate Christmas? Which day we will celebrate New Year? Which day we will celebrate, our Ramzan? Or which day we will celebrate our, for that matter, Ugadi or some, when we take any festival for that matter. So where these 11 days gone? And how do we correct? Because we are following some Julian calendar or Gregorian calendar. That is not our calendar in the very first place, or not calendar which is universally acceptable. So this is a problem when we use, the blindly follow something which is not us, which is not indigenous. We are committing a lot of blunders there. This is what happens in the flow when we adopt something without understanding them. That will always create problems only. It will never solve the problems, but it's going to create a lot of problems. To avoid confusion, and colonial records use the terminologies old style and new style. So what this hell lot of this calendar has brought new problem of 11 days gone without any reason or logic, and all people are concerned with their productivity lost. In fact, their age is also lost in those 11 days. And so they come up with some idea like old style and new style to differentiate between dates in the history. And these dates are denoted by using a slash mark. And the changeover involved a number of different steps. First, the first lady of the month, December 31st, 1917-50, was succeeded by January 1st, 1750. Before December was the 10th month in the old style calendar. Actually, even we didn't have this months also, 12th month was not December. It was 10th month was December in the old calendar. And January was the 11th month. And the next changes were made to the March 24. Previously, March 24, 25th was considered the start of New Year in the old style calendar. Actually, that was, generally, even now also today, we see in Hindu and other traditions, our calendar start in March or April. That was the original calendar. But what we have done so many things, and without our half knowledge is always dangerous. We have created something in the very thing, and we moved it deliberately to January 1st. So the next change was January 1st. So March 25th was considered the start of New Year in old style calendar. Again, that was moved to January 1st. 1752 following December 31st, 1751. As stated before, the new year started with March 25th in the old style year. Lastly, September 12th, 1752 was followed by September 14th, 1752. And this is the part where 11 days from the year were omitted. I know still you all might be having how this was done. This was not so simple. This was a very big headache for all these people. I will take up an exclusive session on this funny thing that has happened. That created a lot of havoc and unrest in the society. And even today, what all calendars we are following are not to them. That's why I always say this modern science, thanks to modern science, it is only leading us to destruction. So, there are many examples we can quote, but things are like that, what to do? So, yeah. Where we are? Yeah. So the Gregorian calendar, we were talking about these different calendar systems. The Gregorian calendar was 11 days ahead of Julian calendar. Again, there is a difference among these also. So when the former were adopted in 1752, 11 days had to be skipped and avoid discrepancies between and aligning these dates. Again, one calendar, these are all Western calendars. Still today, that's why we even our calendars also, I follow this, ancient calendar almanac, because that is very, perfect and standard. You see, all our flyers have this Kali Yuga date also, at the traditional year, which are very scientific and, till today also, it very well, has the correct this thing. Of course, that in that also there are differences. It's a different perspective altogether. But at least we can follow one thing. Assume that we are following one system. So these 11 days of September 1752, from September 3 to September 13, are considered lost days. So, okay, these days are lost forever. And Pope Gregory 13 is credited with introducing the Gregorian calendar in 1582. And the original intent, the Gregorian calendar was created with the intention of changing the date of Easter. Actually, this entire Gregorian calendar was brought or created to change the date of Easter, which was proving to be an accurate on flawed Julian calendar. Again, all these, the entire rituals has gone to correct a mistake, doing one more mistake. So entire gamut of committing mistakes to cover one mistake. So ended up with a series of mistakes only. So even though he is considered the authority behind the new calendar, this Pope Gregory, he commissioned physician Olesius and Lilius and astronomer Christopher Clavius to design it. And the first calendar, Gregorian calendar, Lunario Novo Secondo, Lo Nuovo Riformo, is among the earliest printed editions of Gregorian calendar in 1582. So the new calendar was met with the resistance from Protestants, and some of whom viewed as satanic agenda. Again, there was difference between this Jews and Jewish calendar, Gregorian calendar, and they had some difference of opinions. They did not accept. Even today also that goes on. They do not follow this calendar. These people do not follow that calendar. No, that is out of context. We are not going to discuss about it. And as noted, even astronomers don't use this Gregorian calendar. As noted by the Galileo project, the Gregorian calendar is useless for astronomy because it has a 10-day hiatus in it. To calculate positions backward in time, astronomers use Julian date. Again, here also you can see the science has a lot of, it's very difficult. these calendar systems also, for that matter, we even this calendars also cannot be termed as scientific to certain extent, because there is a lot of differences. And the value of time is reiterated, because those 10, 11 days are lost like anything, and till now also no one knows where those 11 days have gone. That is the mistake, that is when we are not completely aware, and we are creating calendars just for the sake of, Gregorian calendar was created just for the sake of Easter. Does it make any sense? For just one festival, you change the entire calendar system. And if someone has one more festival, and if you want to change entire calendar, oh my goodness, maybe. Of course, everything is possible nowadays. And the value of time is reiterated on calendar adjustment day. In the same day that people of colonial Britain lost their 11 days, every moment that we waste and don't enjoy is being a loss to the sands of time. My goodness. Anyway, so with this we shall conclude. I know we all might have a lot of doubts and a lot of clarifications. Even they did not agree, and how we will agree to all these things. They have a lot of differences. So we will leave to the time only. So time will give answers. So till that time, we will wait and see if there are more calendars to come. Then, okay. Then we have another commemoration for the day. Of course, I can understand we are heading over time, but we'll take quickly some more minutes to commemorate. Today is also National Food Bank Day, is marked on first Friday of September. Hunger is a continuing problem in our global community, and National Food Bank Day is a reminder to others that no one should go to bed hungry. Food banks provide food to the poor with the help of volunteers and social workers. They also promote tools for self-sufficiency. The day is to honor those workers, volunteers, and food bank charities who work in this regard. When we look at the history, there is a non-profit and non-sectarian organization that founded in 1967 to prevent wastage of groceries, and eventually came up with the idea of redistributing any food that was not eaten to the hungry. So that organization used to operate using the food bank model. It is considered to be the first food bank, and was a pioneer in food banking system. The organization has been successfully alleviating hunger for almost 50 years. So the idea of food banks spread, and many other food banks were created across the country. And it's continued his work, their work, and the other food banks as well at the national organizations. So America's Second Harvest, known today as Feeding America, he also founded the Global Food Banking Network, has since known as the father of food banking, and Natural Food Banking Day was celebrated on behalf of Van Hengel to commemorate his extraordinary works. In September 2000, world leaders established Millennium Development Goals, and they signed a commitment to achieve them by 2015. The first goal was to end extreme poverty and hunger. They also specified three targets. The first was to have the half of the proportion of the people who suffer from hunger by 2015. And the second was to decrease the likelihood of child dying before age 5 due to hunger. And finally, the third was to reduce the rate of extreme poverty. About 40 countries have already achieved the first target, and extreme poverty rates have been cut in half since 1990. Food banks are a key component in realization of these goals. In the US alone, about 42 million people struggle with food insecurity, and food banks are helping these people. See, even in the most developed country, 42 million people are struggling with food insecurity, and food banks are helping these people. You see how much of food is wasted, And if we use this food for alternative purpose, for, for rearing animals to be consumed as food again in the form of meat products, and to use these food materials for creating candles or creating waste, something like that, how many more people will die with hunger? How many more people will die or suffer from malnutrition or undernutrition? You have to be very conscious. This is what we are lacking nowadays. We are lacking holistic understanding what the entire world is going through. We are very much, we are like a frog in the well. We are thinking whatever we know, whatever we live is the only world. No, there is a whole lot of people around, a whole lot of, ecosystems around the world, which we are just one being among the entire planet, entire world. We are lacking that kind of holistic understanding. That is what, creating uh, these kind of problems. If we know that we are just part of all the human beings and we are all interdependent together, when we really are empathetic, compassionate to our fellow beings, then definitely, we will be having a better, approach towards this development, and we will be compassionate to everyone around it, instead of burning these candles, or using crops, food crops for this you know for rearing cattle, and again that cattle is used for consumption of meat. As earlier we discussed, how much crops are, yields of crops are used to consume 1 kg of meat. To get 1 kg of meat, do you know how many liters of water is required? How many man hours, or for that matter, working hours, women hours or man hours are required? How much of food, like this rice, wheat, barley, cereals are required to get 1 kg of meat or 1 kg of chicken? Have you ever thought? And just imagine, you know, uh, how much of harm we are doing to the environment by consuming meat products. Otherwise, these all people will get their food. At least they will eat vegetarian food. No, we are using same food to create a lot of rearing animals, and again, we are consuming them for the sake of food. We can happily consume vegetarian food, and many other millions of people will get their food. We are taking their, we are making deprive of their food, and we are consuming more and more meat. See, when we know, this is what we are lacking holistic understanding. When we know that what we are doing is affecting someone's health, someone's rights, we talk about human rights, but these are also violation of human rights. We are depriving their right to live, right to life, because they are not getting food. When we are talking about equality and equity, then we are consuming meat and they are not able to consume even rice or wheat or some barley or something what way they are used to come. And then where is this equality? Where is this equity which we are talking about? So we all need to be very conscious. It's not that it is affordable us and we are by God's grace, we are on the other side, so that we can exploit these resources and we can deprive other population. See, the more resources we have, we should be more down to earth. We should have more compassion. We should have more empathy to help others who are underprivileged, so that the the very purpose of possessing wealth should be a philanthropy, should be a charity. Otherwise, what is the purpose of accumulating so much wealth? And otherwise, it is not contributing to any purpose. Okay, we shall conclude this commemoration. I'm sharing the feedback link, so whoever would like to leave can fill up the feedback form and leave. And we shall conclude this. Whoever would like to stay can stay back. And just we'll quickly take few more minutes and we shall conclude. So others, whoever want to stay can stay. Others, if you want to leave also, it's fine. You can fill the feedback form and leave. Today, other commemoration is Pierce Year's Day. Year's Day, sorry. Ear piercing. It is very common in India as part of our culture also. See, we don't celebrate here, but the world is celebrating that. Some nations are celebrating. This is what, we are very ignorant of our own culture and traditions, and people are following somewhere in the world because India has given lot to the world, but unfortunately, we Indians ourselves are very ignorant, negligent to our own tradition and practices. We don't follow them. We don't respect them. We think that by following we become inferior or something like that, but entire world is following it in one form or other form. Okay, so we celebrate Pierce Your Ears Day on September 2. The holiday spread awareness about ear piercing, including the ritual, historical aspects of this body modification. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. Because we all are celebrating this Navaratri, and you know we are celebrating so lot of celebrations every day. Yeah. So where am? Yeah. This holiday spreads awareness about ear piercing, including the ritual and historical aspects of body modification. It is one of the things practiced by people worldwide for various reasons. This is quite common. We think we also have some these misconceptions, myths that this is a old tradition. This is not modern and all these things. But this is a which we in India are especially where this ear piercing is followed and is a ritual for that matter for every woman or every man, or for that matter for even gents also. In few traditions get this ear piercing done, but it is widely practiced for women because they also enjoy decorating their ears with these ears, that adds to their beauty, and so many things. So even men also do that. Earlier, these we can see those earlier kings were wearing so many crowns and other things. So in fact, it is not any gender specific. Every gender, irrespective of gender, this ear piercing was common. So these things practice. It is one of the things practiced by people worldwide for various reasons. Some do it as a fashion statement, and others do it as to honor their ancestors, and many do it on a whim because it sounded like a clever idea at that time. Regardless of the motivation, ear piercing has been part of human history for a long time. People of different races, backgrounds, and genders have pierced their ears for millennia. And Pierce Your Days is celebrated on September 12th, 2nd every year. This is day to remember where ear piercing comes from and maybe even get your ears pierced. So here today I will be discussing only in the Western context, and maybe we can take it up our Eastern context also later on due to time constraint. So for thousands of years, human beings have practiced ear piercing, and Samburu warriors of Kenya pierce their ears with large ivory plugs to signify their toughness and bravery. The Egyptians and Romans wore gold earrings as a status symbol to display their wealth. Ancient murals in Persia depict warriors with pierced ears, and Native American people often wore earrings made of bone, glass beads, and colorful feathers. Earrings have always been popular for various reasons. Some civilizations wore them as mere decorations, while others reserved them for spiritual leaders who used them as charms. Sailors wore earrings in one or both ears as a sign they had traveled far and wide on their high seas. In 16th century Europe, noblemen who served in the king's court had pierced ears. The punk movement, much of the dismay of their conservative parents, today it is highly fashionable to have ears pierced. Parents even have their babies' ears pierced at 6 months or younger. It is unlikely that there is country where ear piercings are not commonplace. See, you can see in every country this practice is widely followed. Of course, the purpose or intent may be different, but ear piercing is quite common in almost every country. There is no country where you can't find this ear piercing done. So ear piercing techniques have come a long way from old rudimentary methods. The process is much safer and healthier now. Now, it's just like mosquito bite or ant bite. It's as simple as it, not even that painful to get your ear pierced. There is a little risk of infection or mutilation because of the safe and hygienic practices. And this is if you go to a competent, qualified professional. Now we have, professionals also for ear piercing, and they use advanced tools where, sanitized and very safe equipments or tools to get ear pierced. Almost every tattoo parlor offers a ear piercing services, and many chemists do it too. It is very quick, completely harmless when performed in a sterile environment. So with this, we shall, there are different ways or different places where you can get your ear pierced also. We will look into some other day because it has a lot of other significance also. And we have one more important day. We will commemorate and close it. World Coconut Day. So you can one of the nature's most versatile products, the coconut plant and its various parts can be used for food and drink, cosmetic preparations, and decorating. Some cocoa proponents even claim that fruits oil can reverse dental decay if you switch it around in your mouth. Swish it around in your mouth for 20 minutes a day. Most of us aren't comfortable with a mouthful of oil, no matter when the oil comes or what it purported to do. But we can still get caught up in the coconut craze, whether you are stuck on a deserted island or comfortable in your own home. There are some relatively normal ideas for using this tropical wonderful. So again, looking at the Western context. So we are just coconuts for Coconuts on World Coconut Day. The aim of this is celebrating this holiday is to bring coconuts into spotlight and recognize their importance and benefits, not just health-wise, but also economically too. Coconuts are especially celebrated in Asian and Pacific regions by APCC, Asian and Pacific Coconut Community, which facilitates most of the coconut production centers. The coconut's adorable name has an interesting origin as portrayed in many cartoons and children illustrations. There are 3 indentations on the surface of a coconut, which resemble a human face. Ancient Iberian folklore tells us that when the Portuguese and Spanish explorers saw these indentations, it reminded them of a bogeyman or a similar entity. The mythical character from stories of their native lands were called Coco, and so the word coconut was born. The coconut made its way from India to east coast of East Africa, thanks to Arab sailors from Southeast Asia to west of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean, and to the east of Pacific, thanks to Austronesian sailors. Now, coconut is Indian origin, and coconuts have been a powerhouse since providing us with vast range of products and benefits. The tender white flesh inside the coconut is used as an array of cooking recipes, and the oil, milk, and water is used for both cooking and non-cooking purposes. Coconut butter, coconut cream, and coconut oil are staple byproducts used in beauty products and also for health reasons. And the husks and leaves of cottons are used for making doormats, roofs, and huts. The first observance of World Coconut Day took place in 2009, commemorating the creation of APCC. Every year, the international coconut community sets a theme for the Coconut Day, and this recent theme was coconut, invest in coconut to save the world. So in as early as in 1280, Indian nut, it is also known as Indian nut, Marco Polo encounters the coconut on his travels to Sumatra and refers to it in his writing Nux Indica or Indian nut. And in 1951, Bounty, a chocolate bar consisting of a coconut flavored filling coated with milk chocolate, is manufactured for the first time by Mars Singh in 1951. And Harry Nissan's Coconut, which tells the story of a woman who has put lime in the coconut and drank them both up in 1971. And coconut water becomes a popular drink in the West in 2000, and it is very good for health also. And it is used in various forms of cooking and non-cooking, and it is most consumed in baked products. And coconut water next to that, coconut water and straight from the shell, coconut is consumed, and also as in granola, as in salad, and as a vessel of alcohol also is this coconut is consumed. And over a quarter of people surveyed used coconut oil in their hair, which is actually more than 22% who used to cook it as per a study. And 36% more than third of a people pick baked goods as a preferred way to consume coconut. So coconut oil is used, and they prefer more of coconut oil confectionaries. And only 11% of National Coconut Day is celebrated on 26th June. And the theme, every year they have a theme. And can coconut be called as a fruit? In short, yes. Coconut is classified as a nut, a fruit, and a seed. So coconut can be called as a nut, as a fruit, and also as a seed. So with this, yeah. And finally, coconut has multiple uses, health benefits as discussed. Coconuts boost immunity as a source of antioxidants. Eating coconut and drinking its water can boost immunity and fight diseases. So you can see a lot of, even for common, all the people who are suffering from various diseases, coconut water is highly preferred. And even if you are suffering from fever, also coconut water is given. So it is highly rich in vitamins and minerals. Coconut is good for diabetes also, owing to their low calorie and high fiber content. Diabetics can eat more coconuts to help manage their blood sugar levels. And the coconut is also miraculous for hair growth. Indians swear by coconut oil for nourishing their hair. Not only does it condition hair, leaving it soft and luxurious, but it tackles a number of hair problems. And coconut oil is great for the skin as well. For mosquito bites to anti-aging, coconut oil is useful in healing skin from scars, scabs, and wounds as well, preventing dull skin. So coconut is also often shredded and added to different dishes to add taste and texture. So, and you can enjoy coconut in many ways, like a suthi or a cocktail or an entry made with coconut milk, coconut cream, coconut water, coconut oil, or the fruit itself. You may have washed your face, shampooed your hair, moisturized or exfoliated with coconut byproduct. Coconut shells can be used as bowls to make buttons, to create sound effect of horse hooves, and etc. And coconut pods adds a scrumptious creaminess to any drink or dish. A suthi takes on a tropical flair with even simplest curry gets depth from the coconut milk. Raw coconut makes a perfect snack and lends just the right amount of chewiness to baked food. And unless the coconut has added sugar, it will work well in savory applications as well as sweet ones. And coconuts are also nutritious. They are high in iron, magnesium, fiber, and protein. Coconut water provides potassium and sodium in moderate amounts. Coconut oil, a medium chain fatty acid, is not harmful, although the jury is out whether it's helpful or not. But still, coconut products play prominent roles in gluten-free, soy-free, and vegan diets. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration. And at last, we'll take one more minute. Today is also National Lazy Moms Day. It is a reminder to lend a hand and give your mom a much deserved break from her daily task. And Mother's Day is a wonderful day where we celebrate our mothers and shower them with gifts and prize. However, even on Mother's Day, our moms are still found cooking, cleaning for our families, not having time to sit back and relax. So today we are making sure mom knows how much we love and appreciate her more than once in a year. Today, no purchases necessary, just cover her duties and tell her to cool it. So this is very simple. So to ensure day of peace goes undisturbed, get away from house and into the world of maximum relaxation. And let's the other family members take the responsibility of covering her duties, which can create a much positive impact. One day of rest at least, and we can have on our super mom. So with this, we shall conclude all the commemorations today. Of course, there are many, but else many others also. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us and being part of this wonderful session. Hope everyone enjoyed. And yeah, there are some things which have happened and which are happening and which will going to happen. Because everyone has their own motives, intents, and agendas to promote their business or business houses. What we have to do is we finally, no matter what, we are not promoting anything, we are not demoting anything for such that, but only we are conscious because everyone has varied interest. Everyone doesn't like same thing or same color or same taste, same clothing, or because that is where we appreciate everyone's diversity in taste, diversity in color, diversity in shapes, diversity in sizes, diversity in preference, diversity in attitudes, diversity. A lot of diversity is appreciated. No, we should not enforce anything on that, but having informed decision or learning about why we actually have so many things, why we are so diverse, appreciating them is what required. not blindly following and enforcing that on the entire population will never be appreciable, will never be appreciated. So for that, we need to have different, that's how our country is so diverse in cultures, religions, and so that freedom is also granted to everyone so that they can enjoy their own thing, but not being offensive and that. So we can have a word based on understanding. Everything has a purpose, intent. Appreciating that, we shall continue. But at the end of the day, we have to appreciate uniqueness as well as differences. So with this, uh, uh, I thank everyone. And in case in the process, if someone may be hurt or someone may think that, you know, the something might be offensive or defensive or, so there is nothing like that. There is no intention that it was just as part of discussion. So we respect every culture, every community, every practice. So it's just part of discussion. It was from various sources of information collected over internet. We have compiled and gathered. If you have any other information which you think is more appropriate or which can be part of this discussion, do share with us. We'll be happy to share that information also in coming sessions wherever there is an appropriate commemoration, or whenever there is a time that where we can share. So we are open to all such things, or even if you have some exclusive topic that can be dealt over the time on any specific topic, you can also register as a speaker, or if you are an expert, we welcome you. You can also share information on that day exclusively. So even this is an open platform, and everyone has the opportunity, if you wish to, following all the rules and regulations, guidelines. So let's take this opportunity to share more such information. So thank you once again, one and all, for joining us on this wonderful day. So see you all tomorrow at the same time, at 6 o'clock, with a different topic. Take care. Good night. Kindly fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform. It is mandatory for receiving your certificates. And as I already informed, that these are festival holidays till September 16th. There will be a delay in verification and these all certificate issuance, as already informed. So, but in the meanwhile, whatever we could do, we are doing, but there will be considerable delay. So in spite of we have informed and updated on website and shared on all the platforms, some are still asking. So I just wanted to inform you once again that, now in these 15 days, there will be no issue of certificates or anything. You will definitely get the certificate, but after 16th, from 16th, all these services will be resumed. You can start attending, because anyway you are going to get certificate. No matter today or tomorrow, it's going to be the same. So after 16th, we'll start processing as usual, and all certificates will be updated. So don't worry about certificates. Anyway, 15 days time is there, and we have also issued certificates till last, if I am not wrong, till 23rd, they were also issued. And for some 15th, 15th August and other things, there are some details which are missing. We have informed them speakers through email. So, but they haven't yet responded. Even some responded, but they responded with not sufficient details. So for that reason, they are still pending. Maybe once after we resume. We will again send them reminder to send all the details as per the format mentioned on the website. Once those details are also received, we will complete the formalities. From our side, there is no delay unless and until there is deficiency in the process that has to be confirmed by everyone, each one of us. Once those details formalities are met, then the rest of the process will continue as usual. So thank you once again, everyone. Take care. Good night.